Hello, and welcome to the Mindful Soul Center channel. And before we get started with a yoga practice that I'm sharing with you today, I just wanted to say hello. My name is Amy Adams from the Mindful Soul Center. And yesterday I taught two classes and I recorded one of them to share with you today. So if you'd like to do a longer practice, it's suited for beginners. It's not super beginner, so it's not from the ground zero, but I think it can be challenging for many different people. So please give it a try. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you'd like to try some other practices, what you thought of this one, and um, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and all that good stuff. So let's get started.
Now we're also going to talk about the importance of grounding today. So when we are in our daily life and when we're doing things, we can feel sometimes a little bit out of control or get agitated. I actually had some frustration for no really good reason. So it was just my mood a little bit today. I mean, the computer was bugging me or something, and I was But when we're grounded, it can be very helpful to be a little more clear-headed. So, and to make decisions more easily. So when we're doing yoga too, it's the same thing. We want to be grounded, and have stability so that we can move other parts of our body more freely within space. So, so when we're sitting in the easy pose, which is the cross legs, our sit bones are grounded into the floor and into our mat. And then even our feet, we can feel like they're not flat on the ground, but we can feel like our ankles, we can feel them going into the ground. And we can have our posture a little bit better because we're in a seated position conscious. So, and then let's move on to all fours. So we're also going to just reflect on what it means to be grounded on all fours. So here, as we have our hands are on the mat, our index finger is aligned with the long edge of the mat, and our thumbs are naturally going inward towards the center of our mat. But we're really rooting down into our palms, into the mat. So you're really kind of pushing into there. You can push into the ground, and you can even just kind of exaggerate that a little bit, make a little movement to kind of feel what it's like to be pushing in. And then our knees are also grounded into the mat. So you can even lift up your feet just for a moment and then place them down. And then the tops of your feet and the tops of your toes, you can even press them into the mat. And feel what that feels like. Now, it shouldn't hurt at all. It just is the pressing and just really rooting into the earth. Now, we're going to actually lift our right hand out. Our thumb is up. Our palm is facing the long edge of our mat or the wall. And we're going to lift our left leg, and we're going to push that back. And then your foot is flexed on your left leg, your arm is straight, your face is looking down into your mat, by your hands, and notice how it feels like the top of your foot in the mat right now, and the top of your toes. And maybe you're feeling wobbly, or maybe you're feeling stable. So you can use your abdomen and your core strength to adjust yourself if you need to. But when you're kind of grounded in there, you probably feel more stable. Let's take a couple of deep breaths and relax the muscles in your face. And then place your hand down and your knee down. And then we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to lift our left arm straight out. And then our right foot goes back. Our foot is flexed. And again, notice how you feel with your foot, the top of your foot, pushed in, the top of your toes, your palm. And you can do your Ujjayi breath. Okay, place your hand down and then your knee down. And then we can just go into knees a little bit wide, toes together, and then knees push back to child's pose. And then we're going to put our knees together, and then we're going to just push up for our first downward dog. You can pedal your feet. Adjust your body. Bend your knees if you want. Stretch back a little bit more. Shoulders are away from the ears. Okay, and then we're going to just walk up with straight legs until you need to bend them and get to the top of your mat in the forward fold. And then slowly roll all the way up. And then the third kind of focus on grounding right now is in mountain pose. So we're going to just be very aware of our feet right now. We can lift our toes up. Our feet are hip width distance apart. We're lifting our toes, and then we're going to place them down. And then feel how the balls of your feet are on the mat, and then even the sides of your feet and your heels. Now, do they feel like stable? Maybe you could like roll around a little bit, kind of feel how it is, like if you move from one side to the other. Get yourself planted in the ground. And then once you feel good there, then take your arms to your side, fingers wide, palms facing forward. Relax your knees, tuck in your tailbone. And then your shoulders are pushing down. Your shoulder blades touching as much as kind of moving down your back. And I like the Sanskrit name for mountain pose is Shavasana. And I always think of, ta-da! Okay, so now from here, we are going to go, we're going to lift our arms all the way up to touch, and then we're going to take our left wrist and we're going to pull it to the side, our arms, so we're going to lean over for a side body stretch. And we're going to inhale our arms up, and then we'll switch hands. So we grab our other wrist, and then kind of stretch our arms up, and then over to the side. And feel the stretch. And now we're all the way up to the top, and then we're going to fold all the way down. Step it back to downward dog. And then we're going to roll forward to plank pose, and we're going to hold it for a few breaths. Put our knees down and then press back to child's pose. And then roll forward back to plank. And if it gets to be too much, you can put your knees down. And then push back to child's pose again. And then roll forward to plank one more time. Knees down and child's pose. And now let's, instead of going into regular plank pose, let's put our forearms down, and then our fingers are wide, our index fingers are on the long side edge of the mat, our forearms are down on the ground, and then we're going to press back to plank pose. And again, if this is too much, just put your knees down, or you can even like cross your feet like this, and just we'll take a couple of breaths. And then slowly lower all the way down. And then stretch your arms out in front. Put your hands under your shoulders. And then lift up for Cobra with an inhale. And then exhale your head down. Inhale again with Cobra. And you don't want to push too far in the beginning, because we're just getting warmed up. And then a third time, inhale up for Cobra, and you can lift your hands off the mat if you want, or not. Exhale down. Stretch your arms out again. Just kind of enjoy that for a moment before we really start to move. Now we're going to push up back to plank, and you can use your knees or not. And we're going to go to downward dog. And now you can either walk to the top of your mat, or you can hop to the top of your mat, or you can, walk or hop, jump, however you want to get there. But I'm going to try to do the straight leg. Okay. Get to the top of the mat, fold, and then slowly rise up. Slowly to start. So just put your hands at your heart to start. Lift your arms all the way up and then float all the way down, forward fold. We're going to step our right foot back, knee down, look up with an inhale, and then we're going to step our left foot back to meet our right. And now we're going to roll forward and we're going to do knees, chest, and chin. Cobra. Exhale your head down. Push it back to downward dog. Take your left foot, bring it up to the front, to the top of your mat. Lower your right knee down. Lift up with an inhale. Step your right foot up to meet your left. We're in the forward fold. And then we'll slowly rise up. Arms reach to the sky, hands at your heart. Now we do the other side, and that will be one cycle of the traditional. So lift your arms all the way up, and then float all the way down. This time we're going to put our left leg back, knee down, our hands down the ground, and we look up with an inhale. Then we step our right foot back to meet our left for downward dog. And now we roll forward to knees, chest, chin. Inhale up for Cobra. Exhale, push it back to downward dog. This time we take our right foot and we put it up. Our left knee goes down. You can put your back foot flat or you can leave your toes flexed, either way. Inhale, look up. Then step it back. Now we do the right foot forward. Knee down. Inhale up. Step your left foot up to meet your right. And then slowly rise all the way up. Arms wide. Reach to the sky. Hands at your heart. Okay, now we're going to do that one a couple more times. We'll just do it like in a more fluid way. And then we'll move on to the other Surya Namaskar. Okay, so inhale, arms all the way up, and then float all the way down. Right foot back, knee down, look up, step it back, downward dog, roll forward, knees, chest, chin, inhale up, press it back to downward dog, left foot up, right knee down, look up, step your left foot back, knees, chest, chin, Cobra, downward dog. I think I made a mistake, but whatever. We do that sometimes. It's not perfection. So let's step up our left foot and step up our right. And then roll it all the way up. Arms up the top, hands at our heart. Arms up, and then float all the way down. Left foot back, knee down, look up, step it back to downward dog. Knees, chest, chin, and I promise not to make you do it twice this time, Cobra. Press it back, and then this time our right foot goes forward, our knee goes down. We look up, and then we're going to step our left foot up next to our right, and then slowly rise all the way up, arms wide to the top, hands at your heart. Okay, so again, without torture. Arms up, float all the way down, step your right foot back, knee down, look up with an inhale, exhale back to downward dog, knees, chest, chin, inhale for Cobra, exhale, downward dog. Left foot up, right foot down, knee down, sorry. Inhale, look up, and then step your back foot up to meet your front, and then slowly rise all the way up. Arms are wide, hands at your heart. Inhale, arms all the way up, and then float all the way down. Left foot back, knee down, inhale up, step it back with an exhale, knees, chest, chin, inhale for Cobra, exhale, downward dog. Left foot up, right knee down, look up, step your right foot to meet your left, rise all the way up. Hands at your heart. Inhale up, exhale all the way down. Step your left foot back, knee down, look up with an inhale, step it back to downward dog, knees, chest, chin, inhale up, exhale, downward dog, right foot forward, left knee down, inhale up, step up your left foot to meet your right, slowly roll all the way up, arms wide, hands at your heart. Okay, so that was the traditional one. So now we're going to do Sun Salutation A, and we're going to do the first one also in a slower motion. Normally, we want to take one breath per movement, but in this case, don't hold to be one inhale if we're going to do something a little longer. It's okay to inhale and exhale for what feels good for you. In the A version, we start with our hands in prayer, and then we lift our arms all the way up, and then you can either put your arms down from the side or from the front, it doesn't matter. You go all the way down, and in this version, we do the half lift. So we look forward and we open the shoulders, and then we exhale and we fold down again. And then we step back our right foot and our left foot to downward dog. And then we roll forward. We can do knees, chest, chin, or you can go all the way down slowly. And normally in A, you would do upward dog, but if you want to do Cobra, you can do that. So you can inhale for Cobra, or if you want to do upward dog, you're going to push up and you're going to lift your hips and knees off the floor. So you decide what is most comfortable for you. And then we exhale to downward dog. And then we hold it for 5 breaths. So if you need to, you can stay either in a static positions, or you can pedal out your feet if you want to. And you can try to remember to do the deep breath from the throat, in through your nose and out through your nose. And then we're going to take our right foot and we're going to step it up. And then we're going to take our left foot and step that up. And we'll fold it over. And then we inhale for a half lift where we open the shoulders. Exhale down. And then you can inhale your arms wide or even in the front of you. All the way up. And then hands at your heart. So we'll do that 2 more times, but we'll do it like kind of on that one was a pretty slow. And then we'll do like a medium one and then maybe faster too. So we're going to inhale our arms all the way up. And then we're going to float all the way down. And if you want, you can grab your big toe with your peace fingers and your thumb. Half lift, looking up, shoulder blades open, your shoulders wide. Exhale down, step it back. And then forward knees, chest, chin, or you could do whatever is most comfortable for you. And then we're going to do upward dog, looking up with a big inhale. And then exhale, downward dog. Nice, steady, deep breath. Now with an exhale, step up your right foot, step up your left. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, float down. Inhale, arms are wide, all the way up. Exhale, hands at your heart. One last time for this version. Inhale your arms up. Exhale all the way down. We're going to do a half lift looking forward with an inhale. Exhale down. Step it back. Then actually to plank. And then we're going to do knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga, whichever is most comfortable. Upward dog or Cobra with an inhale. And then exhale. Downward dog. A few breaths. Okay, and then on the next exhale, step up your right foot, then your left foot. Inhale, look forward, half lift. Exhale down, arms wide, all the way up top. Hands at your heart. It's a little bit longer. We're not going to do it multiple times like we did the traditional and the A. So we're going to exhale. Our feet are either hip width, this depends on you, either hip width distance apart, or you can have them a little bit closer because we are going to, it starts out by doing a brief chair pose. So we're going to exhale our hands down to the floor. Our belly is on our thighs. We're going to inhale our arms up for chair pose. And because we're doing this in slow motion, take a few breaths here. Normally it's 1 breath per movement, but we're doing extra breaths today. So then after the next inhale and the next exhale, we're going to go down into a forward fold. We're going to do half lift, looking forward with an inhale. We're going to step it back to plank pose. And then we're going to do knees, chest, chin. And then upward dog. And then we go to downward dog. And we're going to take a few breaths because we're doing this in a slower motion. So let's take our right leg and we're going to step it up between our hands. And then we're going to take our back foot, turn it on an angle. And then with an inhale, we're going to lift our arms all the way up for warrior one. Now, since we're not doing the 1 or 2 breaths, as I said, let's just take a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to take our arms on an exhale down around our foot, turn our back foot to be straight, step our right foot back, and then roll forward, knees, chest, chin. Inhale for Cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And then we'll take our left foot and bring it forward with an exhale. And we're going to turn our right foot on the angle. It could be 45 degrees, 30, whichever is most comfortable for you. If it's uncomfortable, and if you need to put your hands on your knee, you can lift up, because your hips are forward in this pose. So if it's, like for me, on one side, I find it more uncomfortable, but on the other side, it's much easier for me. So if you want to keep your hands on your hips or raise them all the way up, arms alongside your ears, thumbs towards the back. And you can look up to the sky, feeling wherever you are. And then let's take our arms with an exhale around our left foot. Turn our back foot so our toes are at the front of the mat. Step it back. And then we're going to roll forward, knees, chest, chin, upward dog or Cobra. Exhale, downward dog. And we'll take a couple of breaths. Then we're going to step our right foot up, and then our left foot next to our right foot. We're going to inhale with a half lift looking forward. And now, because we started with the chair pose, we're going to bend down again. Our belly can be on our thighs, and then we're going to lift our arms up, and we go all the way up, and then hands at our heart. So let's try tree pose today. So with tree pose, there are a couple of different places where you can have your feet. So it can either be on your calf, or it could be on your inner thigh here. It should never be on the knee area, because if we move or we fall, we can hurt ourselves. So we want to be very attentive about that. And so maybe you could just get grounded and stable. And then also with tree pose, before we even move our feet or our arms, try to find a point of focus. So I think for tree pose, something that's like eye level and in your room, wherever it is, and that will really help to make it easier. So you can either put it here, your hands on your hips, or you can lift up your foot, and put it on your inner thigh. And if you do the inner thigh, which I'm struggling today apparently, you can press your heel and foot into your thigh. Then you place your hands at your heart, or you can have them again on your hips. And you can just keep them in prayer, or you can lift them up above, but always find a focal point. My tree is falling over. Stay in your tree. Just because mine fell over doesn't mean you get to get out. So I'll try again. And put your arms down. And then you can place your foot down. And then we'll go for the other side. So either on the calf or inner thigh, and whatever you did on one side, try to do it on the other side. So if you did do it on the upper part, try again. And so sometimes it's going to be harder on one side than others. So we're going to try to balance. So even if we're struggling sometimes, it's okay. We just keep going. And put your arms up if you want. I'm going to stay here today. Deep breath. And put your arms down. And then set your foot down. And then let us get back into the top of our mat here. And let's just step it back to downward dog. And then we're going to lift our right leg up. And we're going to take our knee to our nose. And we're going to push it back up with an inhale. And then we'll take our knee to our left elbow. Turn it forward. Push it back up with an inhale. And then this time, on the third time, we're going to go and put our foot through the center. And you can use your hand to get your foot down. Turn your back foot on an angle. And then we're going to lift up just for one breath for Warrior One, which we did before. We're going to open up our arms. And our hips now are facing one direction on the side. Our front knee is bent. Our knee is over our ankle. Our arms are being pulled. Imagine, look at your fingers as the focal point, at the front of your middle fingers. And imagine that there's a string pulling you. The energy is pulling you forward, and then with your back hand, that the energy is pulling you in that direction. So you're being pulled from both directions. And sometimes in Warrior Two, your distance between both feet might be a little bit longer. And imagine your shoulder blades are touching each other. And if you can, think even a little bit deeper. We're going to stay here for a few breaths, so. You feel like the force being in the center, from the middle. Think about even like a string going through your body, being pulled up from the top and then going straight through to the bottom. So you have like this kind of different forces pulling you in all directions. And then also make sure that your front leg, that it's staying straight out and that we're not turning our thigh or knee, that we're not rotating that. Okay, now flip your front hand, your palm up, and then lean back your arm, and then we're going to take our hands in front around our front foot, turn our back foot straight, step it back to downward dog, and then you can vinyasa or not. So if you want to, I will do it. If not, you can stay in downward dog. You can just roll forward and then go all the way down, and then Cobra or upward dog, and then exhale, downward dog. Now we'll do the left leg. So let's inhale our leg up, and then exhale with our knee to our nose. Inhale, our leg back up. Exhale, knee to our right elbow. Turn it back. Inhale up. And then this time, inhale, and then bring your foot forward between your hands. And then turn your back foot. You can either use your knee or not. We're going to go one breath really here for warrior one. And then we'll open up to warrior two. And we're looking at our front fingers again, feeling all the forces pulling us. You're a warrior. You can persevere. Shoulder blades touching one another, at least in your imagination. Maybe think a little deeper. Even if you feel a little bit of burn, as long as it's not painful, just continue. It's good to build stamina and perseverance. Check your alignment. Okay, now we're going to flip our left palm up. We're going to lean back for reverse warrior. And then we're going to take our arms down around the front foot. Step it back to downward dog. Roll forward to plank. Lower down. You can use your knees if you want. You can do the knees, chest, chin, or however you want to get there. Cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And remember, you always have the option to not do vinyasas in between things, but we're not going to be doing any more today anyway, but I just want you to remember that for all future class too. Okay, so now we're just going to go on our knees, and then we're going to go into child's pose for 1 moment, not too long. And then let's stretch out our body, lying down on our belly. You can put your arms out front, stretch, and then put your elbows under your shoulders for Sphinx pose. So our hands are aligned like we would be in forearm plank, but we have our chest is up, and our feet, the tops of our feet are on the ground, our toes and the tops of our feet are pressing, and we're looking up. So you should feel this back bend. Okay, now it's a little bit later than I thought. So let's just take our head down to the mat. Take our arms alongside of our body. So and then you're totally straight, and then with an inhale, you're going to lift up your head and chest and feet. So inhale up. And exhale down. And let's inhale up. We'll take 2 breaths. Exhale down. And this time we're going to hold it for a few more breaths. So inhale up. And then inhale and exhale as you normally would as we're holding it. The next exhale, exhale your head down. And now take your arms right outside the edge of your mat, and your hands are outside, and you're making kind of like cupped palms. You know, your fingers are pressing, and we're just going to push up for a moment. Take a few deep breaths. Now release your head down and then roll over onto your back. I'm just putting my head on the other side. Okay, now let's just, after we do some back bending, we just want to loosen up our lower back. Let's just take our knees up, our hands are on the side here, and then you can even put them on your side if you want. Just kind of roll, make like circles with your legs. So you're letting your lower back kind of move around on the mat. And then go in the opposite direction. And then you can put your feet down and then get yourself comfortable. Make sure your lower back is flat on the ground, your shoulders are down, arms alongside your body, palms down, and then knees closer to your belly, and then lift your legs up. And then you slowly bend your knees and put them down on the ground. And now just get ready for Shavasana. So extend your legs. Your feet can flop out. And then put your arms, palms up, away from your body. They can be off of your mat. You need to adjust yourself. Get yourself into a comfortable position. Close your eyes. And allow yourself to integrate all of the movements. Let your body take the rest. Let your mind rest. And continue to breathe. If you feel any tension in any part, just flex that muscle and release it. Slowly open your eyes, wiggle your fingers and your toes, then stretch your body. And when you're ready, turn so that you can be in a seated pose. Okay. Now we talked a little bit about the intentional sprinkle practices at the beginning. So when we meet somebody, a stranger, even somebody that's familiar to us, before we make a judgment, maybe we can practice aligning our heart and then wishing the person well, wishing them healing, health, and happiness before we make any kind of judgments about who they are or what they are. It can be somebody in the store, it can be somebody you meet on the street, whoever it is. And I think this would be a really great practice. I'm going to try to be doing this and monitoring. And I would like to wish everyone well and healing and health and happiness. And thank you for doing this practice with me today. So, namaste.